Hello, I am Dr. Prasant Kumar Pradhan of the Department of History, UN Autonomous College of Science and Technology, Odaspur. Today, we will discuss a topic of history honors students, that is +3 second year history honors students of honors paper 5, and the chapter is evolution of political structure, and in this system we will discuss about the Rajputs. The Rajputs were a powerful community who started their history most probably around 8th or 9th century medieval period. As we have already discussed that in the early medieval period, there were Rashtrakutas, there were Palas, there are Chalukyas, there were the Pratiharas. So these people have created their own history, but today we will discuss about the Rajputs. The Rajputs were mostly found in modern Rajasthan, and it is believed that the name Rajasthan is derived from the word Rajputs. Before we go to the topic, we must have a discussion about the background. The early medieval Indian history covers nearly 450 crucial years, which is a very long duration. It witnessed the gradual decline and disappearance of some ancient traditions and the birth and growth of some medieval traits. It starts with the year 750 AD and it ends in 1206 AD. Growing trends of feudalism, domination of agrarian economy, decline of foreign trades, too much political division of India, growth of regional identities on the basis of local dialects and local religious practices, all medieval patterns became distinct during this period. The other characteristics of this period are the decay of urban centers, paucity and irregular and slow circulation of metallic money, the growing agrarian character of society, and the emergence of self-sufficient economy. If we will go to regional identities, we can see that the growing regional identities in art, script, language, and in religious spheres supported the birth of the construction of temples on a regional basis. Growth of myths and theory of incarnation, visit to holy places acquire punya, concepts of puja, concept of bhakti and tantra, etc. were other significant developments. In social sphere, the modification of a Varna system, proliferation of caste into hundreds of a number, and their rigidity were the most striking developments. In terms of a class context, the formation of two major classes, those of the landed aristocracy and a large body of subjected peasant, may be found. In this phenomena, the declining status of former Vaishyas and the rise of Sudras was a further development in early medieval India. In it, the most striking development was the transformation of the servile Sudras into peasantry, who thus got transferred into producers on massive scale. During the first half of this period, there were new political actors like the Rashtrakutas in the west, the Palas in the east, the Gurjar Pratiharas in the north, and the latter Pallavas and Pandyas, etc. in the south. There were Chalukyas of Kalyani, Chalukyas of Vengi, Hoysalas in Karnataka, etc. in the Deccan, the Somavansis in Odisha. Many of these dynasties ruled up to the middle of the 10th century. Some continued their rule beyond the 10th century and were replaced by new dynasties in later period. The second half saw the rise of some new dynasties in India. The most prominent were the Rajputs in the north and the Cholas in the south. By the beginning of the 10th century, Gurjar Pratiharas were replaced by many small kingdoms of the Rajputs in the north and central India. Now we will discuss about the genealogy of the Rajputs. The study of the genealogy has been one of the most prominent habits of the scholars to find the roots of these numerous Rajputs. Genealogy has been defined as descent traced continuously from an ancestor. In Sanskrit, the term genealogy came to be equated with Vanshavali or Vansanucharita. These two literally mean a genealogical list or history of a family implying succession. Each Rajput clan has its own genealogy preserved in literary form written by the court poets. These literary texts were used to trace the origin of the Rajputs. Meaning of the term Rajput. Rajput is a Sanskrit word that is Rajaputra, that is son of the king. It is a large multi-component cluster of castes, kin bodies and local groups sharing social status and ideology of genealogical descent. The term Rajput covers various patrilineal clans historically associated with warriorhood. Several clans claim Rajput status, although not all claims are universally accepted. Most of the scholars believe that the term Rajput acquired its present meaning only in the 16th century. In the 11th century, the term Rajaputra appeared as a non-hereditary designation for royal officials. Gradually, the Rajputs emerged as a social class comprising people from a variety of ethnic and geographical backgrounds. During the 16th and the 17th centuries, the membership of this class became largely hereditary, although new claims to Rajput status continued to be made in the latter centuries. Several Rajput-ruled kingdoms played significant role in many regions until the 20th century. Historian Brajadulal Chattopadhyay, based on his analysis of inscriptions primarily from Rajasthan, believes that by the 12th century, the term Rajaputra was associated with fortified settlements, kin-based land holdings and other features that later became indicative of the Rajput status. According to Chattopadhyay, the title acquired an element of heredity from 1300 AD. When we discuss about the Rajputs, we will discuss about their origin, the kingdom of different clans, the political map of the Rajputs, their administration, cultural achievements, their impact on India, and then at the last we will give a very fitting conclusion. Here you can see the origin of the Rajputs are described. There are different theories regarding the origin of the Rajputs. The important and first theory is the theory of descent from Kshatriya heroes. Some Indian scholars assert that the origin of Rajputs came from the Puranic Suryavanshi and Chandravanshi Kshatriyas. The main protagonists of this theory are scholars like C. V. Vaidya, Gauri Shankar Ojha, etc. They claim that anthropology, totems and other factors emphasize upon the facts that the origin of Rajputs has been from the indigenous heroes. Some Rajputs claim them as the descendants of Sri Rama or Sri Lakshmana. Some claim that the descendants of the Chandravanshi of Mahabharata fame supported their views as under. Many traditions of the Rajputs resemble the Aryan traditions. The physical constitution of Rajputs is like Aryans. The rulers of Mewar, Jaipur and Bikaner, etc. feel proud of their Aryan ancestry. They consider themselves as Suryavanshi or the descendants of Sri Rama. The fire worship among the Rajputs came from the Aryans and not from the foreign races. The Indian literature refers to fire worship among the Aryans before the rise of Buddhism. Likewise, the traditions of sacrifice and yajna were practiced by the Rajputs, which also existed in ancient period. Number 2 theory of the origin of Rajputs, divine origin. Despite these earlier myths, it was the Agnivanshi or the Agnikula myth that became most popular among the Chauhans or other Rajput clans. According to this myth, some of the Rajput clans originated from Agni in a sacrificial pit. This legend was probably invented by the 11th century Paramara court poet Padmagupta, whose Nava Sahasanka Charita mentions only the Paramaras as fireborn. The inclusion of Chauhans in the Agnivanshi myth can be traced back to the latter recessions of Prithviraj Raso. In this version, the legend, once Vasishtha and other great sages begin to measure sacrificial ceremony on Mount Abu. The ritual was interrupted by miscreant Daityas or demons. To get rid of these demons, Vasishtha created progenitors of 3 Rajput dynasties from the sacrificial fire pit. These were Pratihara or Parihara, Chaluka or Chalukyas or Solankis, the Parmars or Paramaras. These heroes were unable to defeat the demons, so the sages prayed again, and this time a 4th warrior appeared, that is Chahubhana or Chauhan. This 4th hero slayed the demons. The Hamir Raso also talks about the Chauhan king of Ranthambore, that is Hamir Deva, that he was killed in 1301 in the battle against Alauddin. And this Hamir Raso also talks about the Agnivansha origin of the Rajputs from Yajna altar. The third and important theory of the origin of the Rajputs is the foreign origin. Writers of a colonial period characterized the Rajputs as the descendants of the foreign invaders such as the Scythians, the Sakas, the Kushanas or the Hunas. Alexander Cunningham describes the Rajputs as the descendants of the Kushanas. A.M.T. Jackson described that the Gurjaras entered India through Afghanistan, settled themselves in different parts of India and were the ancestors of the Rajputs. Even the royal house of Gurjar Pratihars are called as a branch of the Gurjar community who came from outside India. Kalhana, in his Rajatarangini, has narrated the events of the reign of Gurjar king Alkhana, who ruled in Punjab in the 9th century, and this can be related to the foreign origin of Rajputs. That is, perhaps the Gurjaras were the forefathers of the present Rajputs, though it is regarded as a controversy and the scholars are not agreed in these theories. There is no single opinion about the origin of the Rajputs. The colonial scholars believed that the Agnikula myth was invented to conceal the foreign origin of the Rajputs. According to this theory, the Rajputs originated when these invaders were assimilated into the Kshatriya category during the 6th and 7th century, following the collapse of the Gupta Empire. While many of these colonial writers propagated this foreign origin theory in order to legitimize the colonial rule, the theory was also supported by some Indian scholars such as D.R. Bhandarkar. The foreign origin theory has been criticized by several later scholars. Alf Hillte-Bettel states that the colonial historians saw the foreign origin theory as a way of justifying their own colonial invasion. R.B. Singh criticizes Indian supporters of the theory for having failed to see the subtle game of the colonial historians. The next theory, that the fourth theory of the descent of the Rajputs, is the theory of a descent from original tribal inhabitants of India. Some scholars also believe that the Rajputs were the descendants of the Indian tribes. There are many myths and legends that the tribals of the Rajputana, the tribals of Maharashtra, and even the tribals of Madhya Pradesh, they developed themselves in the status of the Kshatriyas by establishing kingdoms, and the chiefs of these new kingdoms became Rajputs. The famous queen of Durgavati belongs to a Gond tribe. The Gond Rajput concept was also very popular in northwestern India region. The modern historians, though, do not give any importance to this theory, but there are some scholars who believe in this theory of the original tribal inhabitants as the origin of Rajputs. Fifth one, and most plausible theory, that is mixed origin. Some scholars believe that the Rajputs were of Indian origin. Some scholars believe that the Rajputs were of foreign origin. Some scholars believe that they were descendants from the god from heaven. They were created from the sacrificial pits. But most of these scholars, they believe that the Rajputs were of mixed origin. That means some Rajputs were of Indian origin, some Rajputs were of foreign origin. Historians like V.S. Smith, he concludes that the Rajput is a mixed race. Some Rajput caste were the descendants of foreign aggressors like Saka, Kushanas and Hunas, and some were of the descendants of ancient Kshatriya clans who could wield sword efficiently and fought in the battlefield with extraordinary courage. They were called as Rajputs, transforming into a social group. Like other Varna or castes, the Rajputs were also not same. They are of different subdivisions. They are also divided into different subdivisions. You know, there are Chandravanshi Rajputs, there are also Suryavanshi Rajputs, there were Agnikula Rajputs, and the Chandravanshi, Suryavanshi Rajputs, they do claim their ancestry from the ancient solar dynasty of Lord Rama or Somavanshi, or the even of the Kaurava or Pandavas who were ruling in Mahabharata period. We have different type of Rajputs. We have the Parmar or Solanki or Chauhanas. They were Agnivanshi or Agnikula Kshatriyas. The lesser noted Vansha includes Udayavanshi, Rajavanshi and Rishivanshi. Beneath the Vansha division are smaller and smaller subdivisions, that is Kula, Sakha or branch, Khamp or Khamp and a Nak. Marriages within a Kula are generally disallowed. The Kula serves as the primary identity for some Rajput clans, and each Kula is protected by a family goddess or Kula Devi. What are the characteristics of the Rajputs? The first is that they were divided into different clans, and they established smaller kingdoms. And these smaller kingdoms were not in a position financially to develop, and most of these small Rajput states were fighting among each other, and there is no unity. There is not a single powerful Rajput clan which could congregate all other Rajputs for the formation of a bigger Rajput state. So it is irony of the fate that the Rajputs were so brave and warlike. They were so much love of their motherland, but in spite of all these things, they failed miserably to establish a big kingdom, because all the Rajput clans, they were fighting among each other, and a lot of money, lot of resources, lot of men, lot of time were wasted when they were fighting among each other, and they failed to see the future which could be very dangerous to them. These Rajput states were running with a quarrelsome trait and tendency, and hence for them the wars were just a game. Their love of war were never allowed them to sit in peace. They led to mutual wars, and the enmity always increased among them, even of small issues. It unconsciously made them weak day by day. The another important point of these Rajput characteristics was the weak foreign policy was the most important cause of the debacle, of the decline of the Rajputs, and also about the main characteristics of the Rajputs. The next important point, the characteristics of Rajputs were they are mostly conservatives. Their conservative social life never allowed them to be unified, to have a single concept of identity, and they were in social tussle always, and these social conflicts never allowed them to think beyond the concept of state or war, and to think other aspects of life for a long lasting effect on Indian society.